Ba-da-dum, bum, bum, ba-da-da-da-da.
No, Maya's dead or not alive yet. Same
Maya
thing.
hasn't been conceived yet.
Time is cyclical, so she's also already dead.
She technically is, yes.
Joyful, jubilant jumping jacks.
Oh, Mr. Natsume. I'm so pleased for you.
Locum student Mr. Nahodo Esquire and non-locum judicial assistant Miss Mikatoba Esquires. Now, finally, at long last, there can be proof. Proof that I'm innocent and proof that my tea is innocent.
Ha! Good morning, my dear fellows.
Ugh! Hair-lock Sholmes! May you drink my tepid tea and fall forever silent.
Oh no!
I thought the tea was innocent.
Oh, Mr. Sholmes, you came! How wonderful!
Maybe he shouldn't be threatening to kill someone via tea poisoning when he's currently in a case in the courtroom being tried for tea poisoning.
Yeah, it's a little yikes. A little much. Please, save your derision. I know what you're all thinking. Mr. Foreplay over here. Good morning, he says. Well, it's very nearly time for luncheon. Your scorn is written clearly across your faces.
Nobody said a thought, anything of the sort.
The truth is, I was determined that today would be the day. My sleep seduced me last night, I thought. Tomorrow, for once, I shall not oversleep. I'll rise early and be present in court to support my companions. Such spirited determination has a beauty all on its own, does it not?
Oh, yes!
And then I began to muse on the subject. Why do people oversleep? I queried. Why? Time after time, do they make the same foolish blunder? And the answer came to me at once. It's so delightfully simple. People oversleep because they sleep. Well, is that not an astute insight into the matter?
Oh, yes.
I need to be real with everybody right now. For as ridiculous as Shom sounds, it aligns very well to my personal philosophy. I overslept because I'm sleeping. Like I wake up when I wake up. I'm sorry. Like I don't control when I wake up, and I refuse to let anything else to rise me from my slumber. It is an affront to anything and everything that is good for somebody to wake me.
I'm not sure that's what Shoals meant.
I know, but I'm saying that. I'm saying that I feel Shom's energy in regards to waking up late. I don't even wake up that late, but like people always think it's funny that I don't set alarms. I refuse. I don't live a world in which I need to set an alarm. That's for weak people. Upon realization, I attempted an experiment. I didn't sleep a wink at all night.
Right, controller. Excuse me.
While Shaq gets his controller to work, I don't mean weak as in the result that you're weak. I'm saying that it makes you weak having to wake up early and against your consent. But by first light, I was exhausted and began to be assailed by the fits of drowsiness.
Shocking.
And so, the conclusion of last night's experiment is this. Good night's sleep is quite simply essential.
Yes, I think most of us probably already knew that.
What others presuppose, I prove by experimentation. That, my dear fellow, is the scientific method.
There are no holes in his logic.
I mean, except for it's like a donut. There's no holes if you refuse to consider the center of the donut.
That depends on what type of donut you're ordering. I like cream filled, so they.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying like a traditional original, even like glazed whatever, like the donut with the hole in the center.
I refuse to acknowledge those as donuts.
All right, let's just like dough rings. Like
I just pretend they don't exist.
Oh, you're like a Diego Armando.
My reality does not include donuts with holes in them.
Yeah. And if you don't know why Diego Armando is relevant, we don't even have all those bots recorded, do we?
Sadly.
Play the original trilogy, I guess. Yes. And one more thing. Do you remember this?
Yes, of course. It's the poison that Miss Green was about to drink at the hospital yesterday. Oh, you didn't manage to...
It was a laborious task as the bottle was nearly empty, but such inconveniences do not hinder shows. I managed to confirm that it contained strychnine.
So I was right.
Perhaps, though of course such circumstantial evidence doesn't prove Green's guilt. I shall leave the bottle in your care now. But licking the inside of the neck is not recommended.
Did you do that,
I
Sholmes?
was going to say, it sounds like he licked the inside of the bottle.
How is he alive?
That's probably why he was late.
I don't know. I feel like...
Can I have a word?
Oh, no!
Listen.
Can I have a word?
It's it's Takasuchi Auchi all the way from Japan.
I'm here just to be here.
Oh, that's me.
I want a word.
Gretchen, how good of you to come.
Forget it. Excuse me. Wait a minute, Inspector.
Just glides off of the scene. They literally just gliding.
I don't wish to make a nuisance of myself. From the look in your face, I'd say it's someone else who you think is making a nuisance of himself.
My dear Inspector, please, really, pretend I'm not here.
Believe me, if I could do that, life would be a whole lot simpler for me.
Do you have the results, Inspector, of the investigation of Mr. Shamspeare's room?
Not yet. Shouldn't be long now, though. No, I'm here about something else. The dead convict, actually. Oh, you mean the man from this newspaper article you discovered yesterday in Mr. Shamspeare's room?
A man by the name of yes, Selton.
I went through the archives of the yard and dug out the fellow's file. There's something in there that, well, it caught my eye.
Something caught your eye? What, Inspector? What?
I've carved out the relevant parts for you, so you can read it for yourselves. Thank you.
Oh, that's really nice of him. These documents. 18 counts of burglary, 6 counts of suspected murder, died of natural causes while in prison. His final moments witnessed only by his cellmates. Estimated £1,000 worth of loot he stole remains unrecovered. Manchester Strangeway Prison announced the death of convicted murderer and burglary.
I think this part we had before.
Yeah, so go back.
Oh.
I'm trying to figure out what could be relevant.
Hey there, cool name. Yeah, Shakespeare's still kicking.
I don't know what's relevant yet. We'll figure it out.
I don't know why you'd expect to know yet.
I don't know, maybe it would have been like, full name is like,
It's
cerulean green, and I'm
it's
like,
it's just the traditional 11th hour evidence he gets right before the final section of court that you have no idea how it's connected until like right at the end.
Yeah. If only we knew somebody who has 18 cases of theft and 6 attempted murders. but nobody knows somebody like that.
Wait, that's Susanoo Mikotoba!
Ah! She's a true.
Include the details of where the newspaper cutting we found in Mr. Shamsford's room.
You want me to call you Shrimp Spear? Cool name, why?
Shrimp spear.
I'll rearrange everything in the court record so we don't have to duplicate information.
Why are you giving us a copy of this important file, though? You're the ones who turned up the clue in the first place, aren't you? And just making sure things get handled in proper fashion.
Oh, Scotland Yard's working is so wonderful.
Shrimp is the new word for simp? I did not know that.
That's how they get through the bots from Twitch.
Indeed, my dear fellows, the inspector here is a shining diamond in its crown.
A shining diamond in the rough, maybe.
More like a shining diamond in the buff.
Okay, I just don't want to be beholden to a lawyer, that's all. Goes over the defense and defendant. Court proceedings about to resume. Make your way to the courtroom at once.
Well, I shan't leave you then. I've been listening with interest from the public gallery. Not nodding off at all, certainly not.
Thank you, Mr. Shrums.
I'm rather tired of seeing Mr. Mustache in front of tears personally, so the best of luck to you.
Look up, student, Mr. Naruto Esquire. Yes, Miss Natsume? It's time, isn't it? Yes, this is it. Miss Olive Green and Mr. William Shamspear. This is going to be the final battle.
It's the final battle!
Won't really have saved Soseki-san until I've exposed the whole truth of everything that's been going on. But it's all coming to a head now. You can do it, Ryunosuke. You have to. Cool name. Shamspear is your role model. You'd love to be that stylish, flamboyant, and idiotic. I mean, good luck.
I won't lie. There's a certain level of himbo-ness that I really appreciate from Shamspear.
In the name of
That's
Her
awesome.
Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session again now. Before the recess, we heard a most startling accusation from the defense. Namely, that the victim of this case we heard here only a few days ago is the true perpetrator of this incident.
A reckless, rash, and prejudiced charge of wrongdoing, in my opinion, my lord. However,
Listen, Von Cease, you should be one talking about prejudice. Ugh.
the prosecution has tried to extend every courtesy to this amateur newcomer from dubious eastern shores. But I'm not prejudiced at all!
Thank you for that backhanded consideration.
Can't.
A rather cold assessment from the Honourable British Prosecutor, I must say. So Lord Von Zeek, since a new witness present is ready to take the stand.
Ready and waiting in the witness's antechamber, my lord.
Is
Very well, bailiff, bring the witnesses in. Is what?
who's your favorite prosecutor
Oh, you
other
don't
than
realize?
Diego Armando?
I mean, he's not even. You know mine is Von Karma.
Francisca Von Karma.
Yes.
Fair. Fair, I guess.
I love a woman with a big whip.
She also probably has big heels, and I'm sure that's also
You know what they say about women with big whips?
They have big personalities. But I genuinely, those of you in the chat who are
Cool name said
engaging-
any of the male ones. They're all hot.
I was gonna ask, can you guys genuinely tell me who your favorite prosecutor in the series is, including the games we haven't played yet? Because I know that there's a guy. You don't have to tell me the reasons, and I can't read the chat. So if it's something spoilery,
Yeah,
chat will definitely
don't.
filter.
Yeah, I filter out the spoilery.
Yeah, but like I want to know.
I mean, I think the most popular
and Sadmati are the two that I don't know, right?
Yeah, I think the most popular prosecutor has pretty much always been Edgeworth.
Yeah, but I think it's just because they're the first, you know. Well, technically,
also
Winston
the female fan base just loves his like edgy character.
Yeah,
and he has like he has feelings.
Like I like Diego Armando, but it's like I like Diego Armando. And I do like Von Karma. Yeah, I think Von Karma was just
cool name said Edgeworth, since he's a gay icon.
Yeah. We should well, I don't even know how Edgeworth's games work, but I was gonna say we should play them on stream.
They don't have a court section.
So it's just like investigation?
It is investigation, but there is what's essentially cross-examination points. And he uses this logic system to take, like, evidence and, like... It kind of reminds me of Trauma Team, the one, what's her name? The forensic scientist character, her gameplay.
Oh, yeah. I loved her.
He has, like, a logic system that he uses, the mechanic.
Yeah, I love that part. I remember that part really well, where you got to see the corpse and you had to
I'm still hoping we get a what is it, like a collection or whatever, a remake with the two games. We never even got the second one localized.
So kind of like this.
Yeah, kind of like this. Like I never thought we'd have a chance to, but because we got Great Ace Attorney, I think we have a chance.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, give me a second. I moved my computer and the HDMI shifted. Okay, I can see again. Witnesses, state your names and occupations. Court, please.
William Shamspeare, my liege. For mine occupation, I can say only that I be a tragic victim to be pitied. Shady, I don't know what you're saying. No, continue to.
His favorite prosecutor is no continue. Currently unemployed, in other words.
You like Shamspeare's stupid face and that little bow?
Oh, what? Why? Why, Olive?
Why what?
Why did you bring her entire canvas? She's not once been shown to be painting.
She has homework.
She's just like literally a grad student. I feel it. Just like, yeah, I know that we're at the bowling alley, but I really have to finish this painting by tomorrow.
Hi, I'm Olive Green. I'm a fledgling artist. Not a fledgling, really. I'm just a hopeless failure who's too spirited to admit she has no talent, I suppose.
I don't think I've spoken that depressed in years. Like, that's so sad. Also currently unemployed, in other words.
And that was a little savage there.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, she was in the hospital for like 5 days. She has to get her homework done.
No, I know.
Like, her professors probably weren't like, oh, you can have an extension. They were probably like, nope, it's still due.
It's still due. I
mean, you were in a coma? Like, geez, what are you doing sleeping? Like,
yeah, like, you should feel well rested then if you were in a coma. He's like,
what a coterie. Cool name say he's basically green and he's drawing as he watches this. Mr. Shakespeare.
I'm also drawing. I drew a potato chip and a little derpy cat.
I thought you were going to say you drew the potato man. My lord,
potato boy.
I am thy humble servant. I'm afraid that you're no longer merely the victim in this affair. The possibility has been raised that you are in fact the assailant, intent on taking the life of your fellow lodger. The part you have played in this whole business will be thoroughly scrutinized, I assure you. I would for naught else, my lord.
Oh, there's a harp again.
And Miss Green. I think this is the second time I've done this too.
It's fine. I guess I don't have to have a gender identity if it's a problem.
Oof, no.
Yes?
You are aware of the reason you have been summoned to this courtroom today, I presume. Also, cool name since cute drawing.
Thank you. It keeps me focused. Ironically enough, as you can tell from previous streams, I get very distracted.
Yes, the officer did explain.
Your palette, Green. You can't do that, Mama. Now you've soiled all that clear space. Now any other color she tries to mix is gonna be tainted by the red. Oh, that's why you still have homework to do.
Yeah, and her entire life's been tainted by her.
Oh no.
He said I poisoned this ridiculous buffoon.
And? Do you accept the charge, Miss Green?
I don't know anything about any poisonings. And I don't know anything about this man.
Come, lady, die to live. Verily, I know not thy prickly pea-pigmented personage. Very well, let's proceed to the matter at hand. That being to ascertain whether or not Miss Green has any involvement in this affair.
It's all very strange. Ede, why would you suspect me? I barely ever go to the East End anyway. It so happens that I passed by the neighborhood 6 days ago, that's all. And on the night that this man was poisoned, I was still in the hospital, waiting for my life.
Yes, having been unfortunately caught up in the incident on the street outside the Garrett household. An incident that rendered you unconscious for some 3 days.
It's very convenient.
I was struck in the middle of my back by a knife, through no fault on my... Now I'm under suspicion? What other irrelevant things might I be suspected of? It's all very disturbing.
Your energies may have better spent worrying about random knife attacks, I fear, Miss Green. At this point in time, all that appears to connect you with Mr. Shamspeare's lodgings is the Briar Road incident 6 days ago. That's why we would like you to testify formally now about exactly what happened.
Oh no! The incident 6 days ago? You mean you want me to relive that awful accident?
Unfortunately, yes. Please tell the court what happened that day. And of course, we will be interested to hear from you about your movements that day too, Mr. Shamspare. But what happened 6 days ago has nothing to do with me being poisoned. Let us proceed then. The witnesses will present their formal testimony to the court. The subject of the incident that took place on Briar Road the evening of the 17th of February.
It was 6 days ago, about 5 p.m. when I was suddenly stabbed in the back. Coincidentally, oh no!
Girl, you gotta get acrylics all over your face!
Coincidentally, it happened to be just outside the house where the men in the case have in their lodgings.
I was at the tavern of the eve on which thou speakest, for I had bespoke my supper.
It was the first time I'd been in the area. I had a matter to attend to, that's all. Anyway, I was admitted straight to the hospital, so I knew nothing about all this business.
Yes, a second incident inside a week at what I believe to be aptly described as the haunted lodgings. Cool Name says, I haven't played many of the Ace Attorney games, but are all the murders this sympathetic? Not seen one guilty party besides a racist bird lady and many memo that you didn't feel bad for? I'd say no. I say the Great Ace Attorney actually has more sympathetic and accidental murders than the average Ace Attorney game.
Yeah, if you recall, that was something that I was kind of mentioned earlier in the first game of series of these two games. Like I felt bad because like the other games was very satisfying when
there was a handful. I think there was like an average of about one case per game that it'd be like a sympathetic villain that.
Yeah, it was like, oh, bummer. Like, I can't believe you did it, but I can see where you're coming from. Like in this one, it's like almost every single person in this game has been like, ugh, fine, yeah, you did it, but I'm not happy about it.
And yeah, Cool Name. Two of them aren't even murders, and that's I think those are the only two in the series that I know of that aren't murder cases.
Yeah, actually, right?
So, like that don't have a murder case at all in the events. And is I read the line. One can only presume this is the most unfortunate coincidence.
Meanwhile, you say that you were not in your room, Mr. Shamspeare.
'Twas the following morn, when I did awaken, that I learned of the dire events. Mary, what a commotion did the officers of the law make on the floor above mine?
Oh, I think they didn't make that much of a commotion, actually.
That was Mary answering.
Yeah.
Public gallery.
Yes, that is true, Cool Name. I wasn't going to mention that just because I don't want to give spoilers if people didn't play the original trilogy. But yeah, there is that one case.
That one case.
Mask
I have an idea.
Mask case.
Yeah.
When Saseki-san was arrested on suspicion of attempted murder. No worries, Cool Name.
I suspect that there is nothing connecting these two witnesses but happenstance.
It's true, it does seem as though they're unrelated at first glance. But I'm not so sure. There's something lurking in the shadows here. I feel certain of it. And this is my one and only chance to expose it. Counsel, you may now cross-examine these two witnesses if you wish. Yes, my lord. Welcome, Dragon.
Hold it!
I'm well acquainted with the case. I'm sorry I had to go through that. How are you, Dragon?
It's awful. I still can't believe I was unconscious for so long.
No worries. It's nice for you just to stop by. Don't worry if you can't make it at the start of stream, or even if you miss some streams.
And I woke up to find that the case had been solved and the culprit arrested.
Yes, the incident has been resolved already. And I would help you to consider it a bad dream that ended with your awakening, and should now be forgotten.
Yes, I suppose so. Thank you.
But before you put it completely behind you, Miss Green, I need you to remember the details one last time. You must tell the court exactly what happened that day for us to arrive at the truth about this new case.
The trouble is, there's nothing to tell, really. Pavement.
Yep.
Yeah, we are nearing the end of the trial, Dragon. What were you doing there that day, though?
What do you mean?
The art school you attend. What's it called?
Ah, yes, it's the Thorndyke Academy of Fine Arts. According to Mr. Sholmes, that's just in the vicinity of Brixton Road, which is some 10 stops away from the scene of the underground.
I believe you mentioned before that you also live on Brixton Road, isn't that right? So why then would you have been walking along Briar Road in the middle of the East End?
Well, it's because, oh yes, I thought it might make a nice picture.
The witness is a student of art. Just a dwelling artist can't all paint grand urban vistas.
That's right. I happen to like the crumbling look of the town.
Perhaps quaint would be have been less grating terms.
The point is, she's definitely hiding something.
Well, it seems she's not going to truth.
If she's trying to hide why she was there that evening, it must mean there was a reason for her not wanting us to know. That's the key to it, this. And you, Mr. Shamspeare, on the evening of the incident 6 days ago, would you tell the court what exactly you were doing? 'Twould be my pleasure, sire. I was at the tavern the eve, and just broke a supper. A tavern, you say? Which one? 'Twas the Slug and Salad where I did tarry. 'Tis a jewel in the East End.
Slug and salad.
Ellipses. And a little unexpected, I feel.
What do you mean, Lord Van Zeeks?
The Slug and Salad offers unusually fine dining, for the locality at least. Not an establishment you'd expect to be patronized by a man with not even a crumb of bread in his room.
It's true. The menu lists premium crusts of bread and glasses of water in different levels of cloudiness. What does that mean?
I would have expected grub scrubbery in the vicinity to be more appropriate for your means. Watery soup and mushy peas, or rather, soupy water and pea like mush.
All equally appetizing. I just wanted to try some water in a different pub for once. What's wrong with that? How different can water really be?
Very different.
Dragon said, Ryu still fancily dressed, yeah. What does Shamspeare do for a living? They said that he's a failed actor. Specifically a tragedian, meaning he does tragedies.
Or perhaps there's a more plausible explanation.
But he's currently unemployed, they said.
A specific reason why he had to go to that particular establishment.
Agreed. Dragon said, I think he's a tragedy. The fact that on that day of all days he dined at a place that he wouldn't normally does stand out. So Mr. Shamspeare's own version of the day at the incident 6 days ago was slightly suspicious. Wonder if he has some evidence that can explain those actions.
Yeah. There is, but not at the moment, because if you want to get all the other ones.
It's up to you if you think there is.
Well, do we even have it? I'm specifically
Have
referring
what?
to that letter in the.
We do not have that letter.
Oh, then I guess not at the moment.
I wish we did, but sadly I can't think of anything at the moment.
We find a clue that can explain why Mr. Champion went there. We could present it to the court.
Yes, absolutely.
If that is all in this matter, Counsel, I'll ask Miss Green to reiterate her next statement.
Hold it!
What little matter, Miss Green? Please elaborate.
It was nothing, really. It's not worth mentioning.
If you remember, you mentioned it to us yesterday at the hospital.
Ah,
It was related to the card you're holding. Miss Green! What was that? She clearly hid something behind her back. From memory, I believe the card contained a note that read, I have information regarding the death of Duncan Ross.
what does that matter? This has nothing to do with Duncan.
Excuse me.
Mr. Shakespeare, do you have something to share with the court? To be or not to be? That is the question. Ah, pray forgive me. The great bard's word springeth from within me with ne'er a thought. Don't tell me. It's because you're possessed by Shakespeare's spirit, right? Hearing Miss Green's words a moment ago seemed to make you think of something. Something of relevance, perhaps? Well, nay, sire. 'Twas nothing at all. Presumably you know the name, though. Mr. Duncan Ross, I mean. After all, you're both lodgers in the same house. I would it were so, but sadly, nay. Lodging be a lonely occupation, sire. My lodging fellows be rarely known to me. So you haven't heard of him, even though he passed away in the room just one floor above yours?
Miss Green.
Like me, my lord? Have I done something wrong?
The card that was mentioned before contained the note. Do you have it upon your person?
I do, yes, but I don't need it anymore. In fact, I should throw it away, really.
Before you dispose of it, the court will take it as evidence, please.
Oh, we got it.
Now we got it.
Of course, that's what links Mr. Shakespeare, Miss Green. Does it have anything we didn't? Oh, we can look at it.
Oh.
The envelope
la
has
la.
been ripped open rather carelessly, hasn't it? Miss Green strikes you the type to open correspondence more neatly than that.
What is it?
The way the envelope is torn, I'm almost sure I've seen that exact same shape somewhere, but somewhere else.
Oh, do you don't mean?
Cool name. I don't think this case was ever meant to be in the first game. I think that Shakespeare being in the first game was meant to be a cameo for this. I think the whole thing, the story was written to be 2 games.
Yeah, so they made it so they integrated with each other.
Yeah.
Were you thinking of this piece of evidence, Mr. Naruhodo?
Exactly. That's it. Try to match them up.
Which I do kind of like. That there's stuff.
I mean,
in-game-
I like it that we're having it released together. I don't think at the time I would have liked it having to wait a year or two.
Yeah, you'd be
The
like, why is
conclusion.
this? Why are these 2 dudes here? But I think in a narrative, it's nice to have. I don't know. I think it's like an interesting way of storytelling. Like this genuinely is to have like this case in between the first game.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily know if it was implemented perfectly, but like I think it's like a very novel way of storytelling that I'm I don't know. I just think it's cool. I want to see it done better.
They go perfectly together, or they go together perfectly. This torn off end of the envelope clearly belongs to this card.
I'm glad you pronounced it correctly.
It would be an affront to all that's good.
An affront to Envelope, the Greek goddess of writing
Mail?
letters.
Oh, specifically just writing letters. It's Hermes' goal to deliver.
Yeah. It was Hermes' secret long lost lover / sister. This is Greek mythology.
We are secret lovers.
Back to DDR.
Was I gonna? Is there anything else around the letter? Maybe? No? Cool.
Oh, can we take a quick peek at Rooney into the inside, or is it not even visible? Is it just like an empty letter? If you tried to it's an empty letter. That's unfortunate.
It's Duncan Ross.
Continue the testimony, please, Miss Green.
Duncan Ross.
Cool name says Sesha is the goddess of writing letters.
Fair. She was also known as Envelope in specific cults and subgroups.
Subgroups within subgroups.
Yeah. You'd have to be there.
Yes, you didn't regain consciousness until the day after the trial, did you? In the early hours.
Exactly. How could I have had anything to do with it? And yet you still haul me in here to court like this? Honestly.
So at the time of the poisoning, the witness was unconscious in her hospital bed. Could there be a more airtight alibi? I ask you.
And yet, in spite of that, you claim that I was the culprit?
Well,
But you certainly haven't produced any evidence to support your wild claim, have you? None at all.
There you have it. The good lady has yet to see evidence, my learned Nipponese friend.
I'm working on it.
Counsel, I'll point out here, the jury's next decision will be final.
We're really up against the wall here. Can he do that? Can he just decide it's the final decision?
Oh, Mr. Naruto! You pursued Mr. Shakespeare wonderfully there.
It's worked out well, hasn't it? We have a new clue at last. Alright, now I need to pull off a really insightful objection somewhere.
Well, as you've managed to expose this promising new angle, I wonder if you should perhaps try to develop that.
Ah, yes, of course. And yelling out objection isn't necessarily the best way to do that, I suppose. Okay, so now...
Was it the first one or the second one that we had to present the letter with? It was one of the first two.
I thought it was to... Was it to her and not to him?
I don't exactly remember what the order, but I think it was her.
You think it was this?
Yeah. It'll be easy enough to just keep pressing.
Art school. Road. Why do you walk
Oh, yeah,
through
yeah.
there?
Yeah, the reason why she was there.
Student. Like the crumbling look. Quaint. Less grading. It's hiding something. It's key to this. And Chancellor, what are you doing there? Well, nope, it was not.
So it was this one? No. Which one was it? Was it? I think it was one. It was something she said that like cued us to. So it would be the very first one.
You think it's the first one?
I guess so.
Hold it!
Cool name. I don't think they're gonna make a third game for this. I think they're done with Great Ace Attorney.
I guess it was the third one. Oh,
I told you I thought it was him. Harpsichord.
harpsichord.
Premium bread crusts and water's various level of cloudiness.
Ooh. My dear Monsieur Gaston, please
How
provide me.
how cloudy do you want your water, sirs?
Well, my dear Garçon, would you please give me the cloudiest water you have on tap today? Present evidence. Just gives me a cup with condensed clouds in it. It's just like, wow, impressive.
I'm sorry, cool name, but like the second one came out a while ago. I don't think that I think they tied up and finished what they wanted to do with the Great Ace Attorney long before we got it. Mr. Shakespeare. Yes, sire. On the day in question, is it not the case that you visited the Slug and Salad, a place you don't normally patronize? For a very particular reason. I don't know what you're talking about. Pray, if thou hast some purpose, speakst. Very well, I'll present the court with evidence. Evidence that explains why you had to be at the Slug and Salad that day, namely...
The letter.
We don't have anything that says a letter.
Miss Green's blank card? Miss Green's card. A note in an envelope that seems to have been something.
You mean a notey, not a note.
A notey. A notey in an envelope.
I believe this card reveals the answer.
Good lord, Miss Green's card, you mean?
That's right, my lord. It reads, I have information regarding the death of Duncan Ross. Come to the Slug and Salad on Briar Road at 5 p.m. on the 17th. Don't tell anybody else about this letter or the meeting. It is a matter of utmost importance. Mr. Shakespeare, your actions on the afternoon of Miss Green's stabbing are exactly as described in this note. Personally, I find it hard to believe that's a coincidence. Don't you, Mr. Shakespeare? Well...
Excuse me. Can I say something?
Yes, Miss Green?
That card was delivered to me. Doesn't have anything to do with this odd man, does it?
Well, you'd think so, yes, but it's hard to believe it's merely...
My lord, may I?
May what, Miss Green?
I'd like to make something very clear about the card.
Very well then, you may amend your testimony to include details of the peculiar note.
This note was delivered to me at my address. Man next to me here.
And do you want to press it or do you want to present?
Up to you. If you think we need
I
to...
think I know what to present. It's the other half of the script.
Other half of the script?
It's the next to teacups. Torn off end. Yeah, because it was
The
found
torn
in,
off end of an envelope?
Yeah, torn off end of envelope.
The day before the incident, exactly 1 week ago now, this note was delivered to your address. And upon carrying it out, the instructions in the note, you find yourself in hospital.
Yes, I did. It's terrible, everything that happened to me.
Yes, it is terrible. If it's all true, that is.
Oh,
What do you mean?
It's like, are you calling me a liar? Well, I ain't calling you a truther.
dang.
Miss Green, have a look at this, please. It's the torn off end of an envelope.
Spherical!
Like her, she's a little round. She's a little round.
I ran over Oprah!
That's so funny.
Oh, is it?
And it so happens that it fits together perfectly with the envelope of the note you received.
I thought there were noties.
Fine, of the notey. It's hard. That one doesn't naturally roll off my tongue.
It doesn't. You're the one that came up with noti.
No, I didn't. It was the laws of, like, consistency.
The law of chaos.
Chaos consistency.
Chaos consistency.
Where did you find that?
In Mr. Shamspeare's room. He says with a smirk. In my room? Mr. Shamspeare, do you perhaps remember this note from somewhere? Well... Your actions that afternoon follow the instructions of the note to the letter. Come to the Slug and Salad on Briar Road at 5 p.m. on the 17th. And so that's exactly where you went. Let me ask you again, Mr. Shamspeare. You already knew about this note, didn't you? And you, Miss Green.
What did I do?
As this torn-off end of the envelope proves, the notey was originally in Mr. Shamspeare's room.
Nice.
So how does it that it came to be in your possession?
I don't have the first idea. I'm just a fledgling artist, after all.
There's only one explanation. You broke into Mr. Shamspeare's room and stole it. You did what? Sorry. Thou hast what? You broke... thou were in my room? What on earth do you want with me?
Oh, that's funny.
It would seem that both witnesses need to testify again. Okay.
Miss Green.
Yes?
Whilst you have the court's sympathy, I'm sure, for the suffering you endured in the recent events, anyone found to be giving false testimony to law will be duly punished. Please bear that in mind.
Yes. I know.
Very well then, witnesses. You'll give formal testimony again now. On the subject of this curious anomaly regarding the note Miss Green claims to have received.
I mean, I wouldn't consider myself a sick actor or voice actor at that, but this game is definitely messing with my ability to emote naturally in real life.
I'm
like
kind
I need
of
to be angry and then upset at myself at the same time.
Yeah. I'm wondering if we should maybe switch and just do an escapade at this point.
If this is a good stopping point, yeah.
Just because this is the last notable cross-examination of the case, but we're clearly not finishing tonight.
Yeah,
I don't
escapade.
I don't think we're finishing tonight if we tried to do this. So
let's do it. I wanna see some more goofs about feudal England's tax reforms.
I'm cool to how Shamspeare reacts to green is the best part of the case.
I thought it was really funny that he broke character. Like I didn't like. I have my presumptions about everything that's going on, but they're wild accusations at best. So